One thing about New York City, there's never a shortage of artwork along the buildings. We're out in Bushwick, and I'm gonna take you around on a little mini walking tour this morning as we go see some of the finest art that encapsulate the buildings, the trucks, the sidewalks, the pavement, anything that they can put their markings on with spray paint and paint throughout the city. So walk with me. We are out in the Bushwick Collectives where they put paint and they make their marking on everything, like this beautiful red van here. That's now the backdrop of New York City skyscrapers, the Brooklyn Bridge. You have these animated figures here and the Puerto Rico flag. So you know, the Bushwick Collectives allows artists from all over the world to come out here and make their mark all over these buildings. You get a collection of fine arts and work, all the way down to very popular figures. You have the K-pop band across the street, and so many fascinating things about this city and this area and this space. And we're just gonna make our way around so that you can get the flow of the art that really brings this part of the city together. One thing I love about walking around New York City is you'll be walking and dead in your tracks, looking off the side of a building, you see this big, beautiful, bold painting. And it can be one of anything. You might be walking and you'll see this lamppost full of stickers and a collection of paint, giving you an artist's perspective of what their interpretation of how they see New York City. Look at that, a full-scale painting in the midst of this abandoned truck, which is painted with its own level of graffiti. And you would think, how long does it take for them to actually get together and put such a beautiful painting along the side of the building? Look at the Statue of Liberty over there, half naked. A far cry from what you might see on Ellis Island. Smells, ouch, and a couple of other things that it might say over there. And this painting here, let's see, a collection of eyes, nose, and mouths. Just when you think, oh, out of nowhere, what does this door lead to? Does it lead to a concert hall? Does it lead to a event space? Do it lead to a bar? Love thy neighbor. Please keep the voices down. Isn't it ironic how they'll say love thy neighbor and keep the voices down, but the graffiti is highly realistic and loud over here, and they paint every single thing. Tag. Do you know that this Metro card is gonna go out of business on the last day of December? So December 31st, they made a memoriam for the Metro card. I wanted to come out here yesterday, but the way it is with the daylight saving times, one day you can have a full-fledged day where the sun is out, and then the next thing you know, it's already dark time, and this camera don't pick that up well. What does that say over there? Something swerve. I don't understand it, but look at this one here. Now this is not no typical painting here. You have, that is made of fabrics, different fabrics, so a different form of graffiti. Whereas you get the spray paint graffiti here, you get the full-on mirrors there, you get fabric here, and then you have these wooden pieces that make up an artwork. Let's see here what it says. Toiletries, electronics, kids balls, homes. But this is just particle board, and then you have the spray painting of that particle board, but it's a different sort of art piece collection. And I wonder if this is what people think of when they think of New York City. Do they think of the graffiti? Do they think of the grit and the grime that encapsulate these walls? Do they think of the imprints? It's just so many things you can see. And one of the beautiful things about the Bushwick Collective is you don't need a ticket. You just come out here and you can see free artwork along the street that epitomizes New York City. Shop. Some of these things I cannot make out, but you may be able to. But someone has a really great hand and a talent. My brother can do it, I can't. Look at that. Mary holding up a different form of Jesus. What made him think to come up with that type of piece? The Saint Mary, let's get it right. And then look at that one here. Some girl representing Brooklyn, a very Latin spirit, and a gentleman behind her here on the same type of timing. the graffiti, the grit, the art. And out of here you have this obscure bus. Someone's probably calling it home, or it maybe is just the art installation. Right across the street, a very detailed painting of a young lady over there standing next to a gothic mouse, a rat, New York City rat. The epitome of a graffiti artist right there in front of you. That's New York City for you. And we're gonna skip across town just so we can see more of this brilliant art. I don't know if they do that anywhere else, but you see that here? That could be a painted on advertisement. I once watched someone do a painting of an advertisement, and at first I used to think, you know, they take a sheet of paper or printed canvas and they put it on the side of these buildings, but no, you have people who actually go and paint those on by hand. And the reason why I point that out is I just want to let you know that New York City puts art everywhere. And look at this, like a fallen angel, very ethereal, different stark contrast in color. And then you have the king of Brooklyn, Biggie. I would say this, if the Biggie estate made $1 for every painting of Biggie around Brooklyn, they'd probably be a billionaire family. He is everywhere. That is the king of Brooklyn. And a stark contrast of something playful just below. Different type of artwork, peace signs, banana slips, all along here. Just the grit and the grind of New York City. Even something as beautiful as this wilted away photo of this young lady here. And then you have for Lumen, they just made something, a nice garland. Different sort of collection of art. This piece hidden by trash. And then you have that escape right behind the grits. Even beauty in the struggle. But look at that, Basquiat and Biggie. Basquiat painting Biggie. Girl listening to music, just the color details of that right there. And then you have this highlighted virgin, this very neon fluorescent Mexican woman encapsulating the building. They put their heart and souls into these paintings. Cocktail magic right at the top, the grind of Brooklyn. And it just doesn't stop there. So it can be freestyle hand painting, but look at this artichoke pizza. And then you see that painting along the wall there to blend in with the backdrop. We'll make our way over here to dive in more. And this is the carefree atmosphere of Brooklyn. Dive bars everywhere, party scene. So whenever you hear someone says, I can't wait for the summer times of Brooklyn, there's no place like New York City's Brooklyn in the summertime. This is what they mean. Playful. But look at that, full-on collaborative effort. I could put that very midnight, very moody, a skull in the face of a young lady. Then you have the polo matches there. Stark contrast, I love that. As someone who wants to get into polo, I love how they brought that here. Bushwick Collective, just a collection of artists coming together. You have some heritage going on. Boricua, Puerto Rico, and then right next to that, the Dominican flag. A pure artist space. I want to cross the street because you have this dope mural, let me say it right. My southern black accent, mirror, it's mural. Right behind me, I just want to get a glimpse of that. Look at that one. Full scale, sliding across the building. I wonder how long it took for them to get that painting across the sheds and the openings around the windows. How many days did it take for them to bring that magic to life? You see that? Those are the safety gates. That's a rolled up safety gate. So obviously this building is gonna be open, but look at the artistry along it with that block of yellow right there next to it. Just amazing. And this is one thing that I find very appropriate. I don't know what he's up to, but the stickers, a collection of stickers all throughout here. They do that a lot, all throughout the city. They take a light post and put stickers all along the light posts here. Little secrets, little messages along New York City. And this is like an abyss painting. It reminds me of the galaxy and the stars. And what I told you, the King of New York, you see Biggie? Hidden. Abandoned buildings, they just don't leave those abandoned. We put a little graffiti all on those abandoned buildings. Take a look at this, just through the cracks of snow. It's almost like no building is left untouched. All along the trash can pails. Where do we find it? The flower beds. The Bushwick Collective. All of these artists from around the world, people travel far. I remember I was helping this one guy pack, and he was coming in from Miami. He did a 2-week stay. Look at those crazy eyes. Biggie in a Coogee sweater. It is what it is. The home of the New York Knicks. That's a painted on Y2K26 advertisement. And look at this. Some Bushwick legends. Let's see. Tremano. I'm not even going to pronounce that. I do not know these guys. So if they see this video, please do not think I'm being disrespectful. But look at the detailing of those mirrors. A happy dog right across the street. What it says, wild style. And then you have a memorial right there. But look at the detailing on that mural there. Center Alt destroy instead of delete. Let's zoom out a little bit. Very animated. I grew up on Beavis and Butthead. Let's go around here so we can see Beavis and Butthead. Now they did a Beavis and Butthead interpretation of the Flintstones. I was born in the early 88, late 80s, grew up in the 90s. So my mother would never let us watch Beavis and Butthead. Another dog painting here, pit bull painting, friendly doggo. A stark contrast from that one on the wall over there. And then you have this, what is this? A Dragon Ball Z character. Sometimes I've seen a couple of things, never heard of you. And I've never seen you, but you have a beautiful painting there. And then you have the Goofy Kids here. A collection of art. And it goes on forever and ever in this neighborhood. You can find art all over the wall, all of this inspiration. Take a couple of photos, make canvases for yourself. This epitomizes New York City. It really does. Because you have people from all different walks of life really coming together. And that's what New York City is all about. It's all about the collision of people. And how people are one person or two, a collection of people can share things that are in common, but no two people are the exact same, you know. Look at this one here. So this is a garbage pail, but it's done in the subway style, the New York City Transit subway. Isn't that creative how people's minds work? Now, who is this New York City legend? Rastafari. Can you guess? Something very Japanese or Asian like. Don't get me wrong, I don't mean no harm. And just for days. It's good to have a quick little walk. Quick little walk inside of New York City so you can see the fabric of the city. These are the parts that I don't walk typically around, but I should walk more. It helps when I'm able to walk out and expand my horizons. A collection of angry blue men along those walls, And that looks like a clothing factory. Yep, L Train Vintage. So this is a vintage clothing shop with artist tattoos all across the buildings. We're gonna make our way just around here. My hands are freezing. I wanted to have a nice light walk, catch some of the breeze before I, go on about my day, before the night settles in and I can't do any of it. How amazing is that? You might not think it's much, but someone put their art and their heart inside of that, to bring that side of the building to life. Someone wanted to make their mark on New York City's Brooklyn. Another culture heritage art piece of artwork, you have a Native American, prideful Native American, a pair of Timberland boots here, and you have another doggo. Look at that mirror. Wu-Tang is Staten Island, but they're there on the side of this building. A city of expression. Now Bushwick, you'll see me again, but it's cold as a mother out here and I gotta get warm. I just wanted to take a walk down in the Bushwick, soak up the fresh air and the fresh energy. It has been snowing. The snow is on the ground. It's cold as hell. This won't be the only video. It's one of many. Thank you for walking with me. And if you're enjoying seeing parts of New York City, hit the like and click subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.